In honor of May being Mental Health Awareness Month, today we are going to undercomplicate how to create a mental health safety plan. Welcome to Undercomplicating Stuff, where we, two psychologists and coaches with over 40 years of combined experience, share our insights to help undercomplicate important topics. A friendly reminder that this video is meant for entertainment and conversational purposes only, so please see the information section of this video for additional resources.
I'm Stacey Gedeon. I'm a health psychologist and the founder and CEO of a healthcare consulting and professional coaching business. And how about you, Dr. Radico?
I'm a psychologist, a coach, an author, and a speaker. And today we're going to talk about creating a safety plan that has some key components that hopefully will help you if you are feeling like you're in a crisis, in any type of crisis in your life. And we're going to go through step by step some of the key components that are in a safety plan. And we're going to be pulling from research that was done by Stanley and Brown in 2012, and they created this safety planning intervention. So if you go on websites like the 988lifeline.org, you will find this safety plan document. So what we really want to do today is undercomplicate what are the key components that you want to know for yourself if you're feeling like you're in a crisis and want to have resources at your fingertips to help you get through that crisis in a safe way. One of the things that I would encourage is to be planning how you're going to take care of yourself in a crisis when you're not in a crisis. The best time to do this safety planning is when you're feeling pretty okay and you're saying, well, what would me who's feeling kind of okay or feeling good want me who's maybe in a harsher or darker or scarier or more stressful space to know? What are the resources that you want future you to have to take care of themselves in any sort of crisis situation? And this could be a physical health crisis, a mental health crisis, social crisis, like any period of time where you feel like it's hard for you to take care of yourself. You want to have resources at the ready of, here's some things that I know work for me. These are things that are true for me. So your individual safety plan is going to look different than everybody else's. I mean, you might overlap in some areas, but don't judge yourself as we start to talk about what are the components that you want to put in your safety plan. Really, like, give yourself space to think about, well, this is what helps me recenter or de-stress in the moment, even if the person A next to me would be like, oh, that doesn't work for me. Okay, no judgment to you or them. They've got their own strategies. You've got your own strategies. As long as they are healthy and not harmful strategies, then make space for them.
To your point about doing this at a time when we're feeling calmer and more collected and can reach out for supports to get ideas, I almost think of it as a fire drill for your nervous system. So we're all supposed to have these plans if there's fire or some other natural disaster. And what would you do? And you certainly don't want to be thinking about your exit plan or your strategy right in the middle of a crisis. So that's why it's super helpful and important to start to work on this far before you're experiencing a crisis. And if you're in therapy, for example, it's really common. Julie and I have done this numerous times where we'll help people out developing a safety plan that's unique and specific to what is going to work for you. The first is writing down what your warning signs are. These can be thoughts, images, moods, certain behaviors that you might be doing. So let's say you notice that you're not eating much and it's hard to get out of bed. Those might be one of your warning signs. And maybe you pick 3. You don't have to list every single one, but those that for you, you know, okay, I think I might be heading maybe towards a crisis. The next step would be is to start to identify some coping strategies. And these can be things that you do to take your mind off of what's happening right now. So it's okay to distract and wait for that wave of emotion to pass, because it always does. It doesn't stay at that high intensity forever. It's a lot like the weather. Wait long enough and it will change. It will get better, but it's buying yourself some time so that you can ride that out until things are feeling a little bit less stressful. And another thing you can do is to reach out to other people. Engage in something that really makes you feel good. Maybe it's listening to music. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's taking a walk. And those are some of the initial things that you could start to put in your safety plan.
I think it's so important that in the steps that we reviewed so far, You are identifying what are your own warning signs. What are the things that are unique to you that let you know that you're feeling a little bit off or that things might be heading in a direction where you might need support. And that, again, those are going to be unique to you. People on the outside are notoriously bad at picking out signals of when people are really struggling because if you tend to deal with a lot of crises in your life, you might have a really good way of still appearing like you're holding everything together. So we want to have good insight into our own warning signs because we are a canary in the coal mine. We are the best signal for knowing that something is off. And sometimes it's even hard for us to pinpoint what it is. We might feel like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit off. If you ever started to feel like you might be having a cold, like kind of like, oh, I feel like maybe I'm a little fuzzy today or feeling a little bit off, like those kind of signals that let you know, like, oh, maybe you're starting to get sick. You might have some of those signals, like figuring out what those are for your mental health, your psychological health. Again, reinforcing finding ways to self soothe, finding things to do that help you take care of you, knowing the people who you want to reach out to that help you distract yourself. Step 4 is identifying people in your life that you can ask for help. And these might be people that are professionals that you seek help from, but that's also in section number 5. That's step number 5 are professionals or agencies that you can ask for help. Step number 4 might be people that you can ask for help that are the friends and family that you know would maybe be a little bit sleepy, but would get up if you text or call them at 3 a.m. They are going to be people who, if you say, I just need you to listen to me right now and say, I'm here, they will do that for you. And I'm mindful that not everybody has those people, or we might not think that we have those people because we haven't had conversations around, hey, sometimes I get in this headspace and I really could benefit from talking to someone. Would you be willing to be one of those people? And lots of people are going to say yes to that. Not everybody, but lots of people are going to be willing to be that person for you. And there's an importance in being strategic about who these people are. So there will be some people who you are like, this is an amazing human being. I love them. They are not going to be the person I call when I'm in a crisis. And that's okay. That is valid. You want to have conversations with them so that they know they are your people for this kind of situation, that they're making an effort to understand and empathize and just meet you where you're at. And unfortunately, it's just the truth that not everybody in our lives can be those people for us, even if they're very well intentioned. So be strategic about who you have as the people that you would ask for help. But it's important too, as much as you can, have those people. And it might be that you are texting them. It might be a friend that you play games with online and you're like, hey, can we get on, this game and chat a little bit? And that might be totally appropriate and good as long as that person knows that's something that you're hoping that they could do for you.
Such important points. And I'm also mindful of, because it's been in the news, just to be really cautious if you're going to go on social media, if you're going to look at AI resources, like many, many things. They're very helpful, beneficial, entertaining, and then at times they aren't as useful. So be very cautious about pursuing those sorts of options. Sometimes when we're not feeling so great about ourselves and then we go on social media, and because of all the curated, my life is wonderful, things that we see, or even some other things that may kind of feed into how badly we're feeling, it may not be the best tool for you. And so being really, really careful on what you're using as your go-to when you're under distress like this. And I'd mentioned the 988, and that's something that you can call. It's anonymous, you can text, and it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there are even special sublines if you're a veteran and some other special populations. And please, please use that. They're trained individuals. They're always there. So if you're feeling like, oh, it's 3 a.m, I don't want to call my people, you can use the 988 helpline, and they'll provide you with not only support during the crisis, but also connect you with people in the event that that's needed. In terms of more of the safety plan, the next step is then to also make your environment safer. And that varies by individual, like much of this plan does. For some folks, it may mean, okay, I'm not going to have substances around because if I consume substances, that really impairs my judgment and I don't want to do that. For other people, it may be items around the home that they don't feel safe having. And you can even have a loved one or a friend take those items temporarily. And those can be things, again, until you ride that wave and are feeling more like yourself, that buy you some time. Another thing that can be helpful if it's done without guilt or shame is identifying reasons why you might want to stay healthy and involved and engaged in life. For some people, that's loved ones, it's pets, it's what's going to happen in the future. And I really am curious about what that might bring. And so those can also be really important things to note in your safety plan so that when you're under distress, when you're feeling overwhelmed, it's literally written down there where you can see these are the reasons why I want to be here.
My key takeaway is for you to consider adding to your safety plan deterrents, things that help you feel like you are worthwhile and you are loved. And when you are in a good headspace, you know to be true. Things that are deterrents from you acting on a negative impulse. Be mindful too as you're writing out a safety plan or, putting notes in your phone, putting your safety plan on your refrigerator, hanging it on your mirror, somewhere that's easily accessible that you're not having to search for it when you really need it, but it's just easy access. These are the things that remind you, oh yeah, this is what keeps me grounded. This is what gives me meaning. This is what helps me feel fulfilled. I want to keep taking care of myself because of these things.
My key takeaway for today is that a safety plan is, again, sort of like a fire drill. It's something that you want to have in place in the event that things are on fire, and you hope you don't have to use it. But if you do, it's there and it's available to you. At the same time, if your home, will say, is all of a sudden on fire, you're wanting to call 911. You're wanting to get immediate help. So it doesn't replace that. But it's the idea if the smoke is sort of smoldering and you're getting all of those indicators that things are starting to deteriorate and you're starting to not feel safe, you already have a plan in place versus trying to think of it on the spot when perhaps you're not quite at your best self.
Beautiful points. If this topic resonated with you, please share it with somebody that you care about. Also, please comment, like, and subscribe. You can message us on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook with suggestions of topics that you'd like us to discuss in future episodes.